thank you to Fiverr for sponsoring today's video.
Hello everyone, so if you are new here, welcome to my channel, and if you are not, then welcome back to my channel. Ever since I first started doing YouTube, I have been filming all of my content, recording everything all on my phone. I always thought that to film YouTube videos, you always had to have a nice camera, expensive equipment, and all this stuff, but that's really not the case. And I have been able to start learning, filming, and growing all by just using my phone. And so I just wanted to show you guys how you guys can also do it, and all the tips and tricks and everything else that I've learned from the past 4 years of filming on my phone and my process of making YouTube videos. So I'm just going to be jumping right into it, and I'm going to be talking about how I film my videos, how I edit my videos, and the process of making thumbnails and everything else. So filming. That is the very first step of making a YouTube video. It can often be really daunting because you might not know what to say in front of the camera. It might feel awkward and you kind of just might not be used to it. If there's any piece of advice that I can give you, it's to just get started. If I had kept working on the same YouTube video that I first filmed, then I would have never started making progress and learned what worked out for me, what didn't, what I liked, what I didn't like. So my biggest piece of advice is to just get started and just try something out. So I typically film vlogs, and just with my kind of personality, I typically already plan out my day, and so it really helps with scripting. But if you aren't the type to do vlogs, or you want to film some other kind of content, then you could just jot down a couple ideas or write down a little script of what you want to say in front of the camera, and it'll help you have a rough outline of what you want to say and without going off topic too much. As for equipment, I told you guys I first started filming on my phone, and I have been for the past 4 years. So when I first started filming, I was using the iPhone XR, which was just the phone that I was using at the time. Over time, I just upgraded my phone, and then I moved to the iPhone 12, and now I use the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And the reason I chose the one that I use now is because I knew that whatever phone that I was gonna buy next would also double as a camera for me. And so it was something that I already knew that I would be investing into. And so this is what I've been using. All my filming is done on this. As I said earlier, I started with the iPhone XR, and so you can really just start with whatever phone that you're using and build up or slowly upgrade once you've decided that this is really like something that I'm going to want to put more effort and time into. So to show you guys what kind of settings I use for my camera. So one thing I like about iPhone cameras is that they have different kinds of settings. So on top of just the regular, you could do cinematic videos, which was great for landscape, slow-mo videos, and time-lapse, which I used a lot for studying clips. And I always filmed in 4K and 60 frames per second. 30 frames per second, in my opinion, is really slow. And if you were to change it to 60 frames per second, you could just see how much smoother the camera is. And on top of that, I only use 2 tripods for filming. One I'm using now with this attachment for my phone. So you could film it either a vertical video like this, or you could film a horizontal video by putting your phone in sideways. So this was basically my holy grail. I used it every single video. And then this is a standing tripod. It goes up, I think, about to 6 feet. It just pulls out, and this was great for taking wider shots. So these 2 were the only 2 pieces of equipment that I used on top of my camera. And so that's all my tips for filming on my phone. Every phone is a little bit different, and you really don't have to have the best one to start filming videos. I highly recommend to just find out what works with your phone and then start from there. And next is editing. Editing can be super daunting, and so I wanted to say thank you to Fiverr for sponsoring today's video. Fiverr is an online marketplace that connects businesses and individuals just like you and me to freelancers all around the world. There are so many services being offered to provide help and assistance to any project that you could possibly think of, and with the introduction of their new AI agent, Neo, connecting to freelancers has never been easier. So Neo is a personal AI agent that will offer freelancer matches based on your needs. You would just need to send in all the things that you're looking for, what project that you're planning to work on, and Neo will recommend you freelancers based on all of the things that you told it. Neo is a personal AI agent that will match you with freelancers based on your needs, even as your projects and ideas may evolve. And not only that, but Neo can also help you make detailed briefs to send to freelancers so that you can get your visions executed perfectly and get your project just how you envisioned it. Fiverr is honestly a resource I wish I had when I first started filming and editing my videos, because it would have made the process so much easier, especially when editing. Not only do they have freelancers who will help you edit your videos, but they also have freelancers who will teach you how to use certain platforms and softwares to edit your videos. So at the very beginning, I would edit my videos on my phone through apps such as InShot or Vimeo or iMovie. But eventually, as I started working on YouTube more and knowing that I wanted to put more effort into it, I got Final Cut Pro with Apple's education package. And so ever since then, I've been filming on there. But the thing is, when I first started using Final Cut Pro, it was so hard to use and so hard to learn. So I just wish I had someone to teach me back then. But now I've developed a pretty consistent way of editing my videos, and to show you guys my process, I will be showing you guys this Paris video that I'm currently working on. So typically when I edit, I break up my video editing into days and I edit in bulk by day, because that way it saves space and it also just organizes a lot better in my mind instead of having one long clip and then at the very end tie it all together, add my transitions, connecting audio, intro, and the ending. So at this point in my video that I'm editing now, I'm kind of tying everything together, and as you can see, I have different clips for each of the days that I've edited. Then I'm just adding in the transitions, adding clips on top. Something that I've wanted to do for the longest time is to have some kind of animation intro, animation clip, but that's something that one, I don't have the creativity to make a detailed animated clip for, and two, I honestly just do not have the talent to do. Fortunately, I was able to find a Fiverr freelancer to help me with this process. And so to do so, I used Fiverr's new AI agent, Neo. I told them basically everything that I wanted to look for in a freelancer and what I wanted from my work. And from there, I've been able to find an amazing freelancer and artist who's been able to execute exactly what I'm looking for. So basically, I sent him this very poor idea and sketch of what I wanted to do. And from there, he was able to create these amazing sketch designs, send them back to me. I gave him feedback on what I really loved and then what I wish that we could do a little bit more differently. And then he's been super receptive to the feedback, and we're able to make this. Honestly, I'm so mind blown, but we've been able to make this amazing animated intro for all of my travel videos now. And so I'm just super happy and really grateful to be able to find a freelancer who's able to save me time and execute something that I'm not able to do myself. And so from here, now that I have this intro clip, I'm going to put it in between the intro clips that I want to have and then my actual video. And a lot of times I like to add sound effects in between clips because I find that it transitions a lot better than just a sudden jump. My editing style is pretty straightforward, where I do simple cuts, simple sound effects, and transitions, and I rarely do anything such as color grading, but I'm still trying to learn and grow as I do more video editing. So that is how I do all of my editing on Final Cut Pro. But back when I used video editing softwares on my phone, I would say the process of me editing was pretty similar and there wasn't much different things that I would actually do. So now at this point, we're almost done with our video. I've finished filming, I'm done with editing, and now I'm just down to making the thumbnail. And for this part, I actually do like to use my phone. I use my phone, and what I like to do is I like to use an app called Canva. And so my process is really simple, where I will look at my photo roll and then I will add photos that I think will look good for a thumbnail. And then from there, I'll organize them in a way that makes sense to me. Once I'm at a point where I think it's really good, or that's like the basic background that I would like, then I use my iPad for this. This part is something that I've only started doing about 2 years ago when I got my iPad for school. Otherwise, I've also just been using my phone. The main reason I switched to my iPad for this step is just because it's a bigger screen. I was able to definitely do this on my phone, but because I have something to draw with and a bigger screen, it just makes the whole process of drawing on my thumbnails a lot easier. And basically this step is just me going into Pixar, pulling up the thumbnail that I like, and then drawing on little details and any overlays, anything that I would like for my final thumbnail. And this is the very last step. And so for this process, you could also use it to make a banner online, something that represents you, and throw different pictures of yourself or pictures that you get inspiration from, and then put it into a banner. And in terms of my channel's artwork, I'm also in the process of making a logo for my channel, which is something that I've been really thinking about doing, but I had no idea where to get started. I didn't even know what I wanted in my logo's name, what colors I wanted, what design I wanted. I had no idea where to begin. And so for this part of my creative process, I used Fiverr's Neo AI agent once again. And Neo was able to match me with a freelancer who's once again been a pleasure to work with. And we're in the process of making a logo. I'm sure by this time it'll be done, so I'll put it right here. In the process of working with them, they've been asking me questions and I've been able to figure out some small details that I wanted, things that I'm looking for. And so it's been such an easy and smooth process. And so with this freelancer's help, I've been able to make an amazing logo for my channel that I'm going to be putting into my videos from now on. So I'm just very, very excited. And so now that we've covered filming, editing, and creating thumbnails and all this other artistic work involved in my creative process as I make YouTube videos, I hope that walking you guys through this whole process has helped you guys gain insight into how I go about it, what I've learned, and how I've been able to start with just using my phone. I'm so grateful to have been able to work with two amazing freelancers in order to get an animated intro and a logo done, which are two things that I have wanted to do for so long, but I've never had the opportunity to. And if I had tried to do it, it would have not turned out as amazing as they have been able to do it. And also it would have taken me ages to do it. If you guys are also interested in using Fiverr for your YouTube videos, any other creative projects, or any projects in general, you can go to the link in my description box and use my code down below in order to get 10% off of your first order. Other than that, I hope that this has helped you guys along your creative process to show you that you really don't need expensive equipment to start filming. Making YouTube videos and other forms of content creation is honestly just a huge learning process, not only in learning the skills, but also learning what style fits you and what style you really enjoy. And so I just hope that this helps you guys get motivated and get started on making your own YouTube videos. Other than that, I wish you guys the best of luck on your content creation journey and see you in my next video. Bye!
Never ever meant to be so sour, baby. Running on a steam.